There we go. We're recording. Welcome. Super nice to have you all. So some of those who are doing the recording know that I used to do these around London yoga studios. So it's really nice to be back online doing them again. As I said in my email, bolsters, meditation cushions, sofa cushions, anything along those lines. A candle, pen, paper, just so you can write things down on. Anything sort of special and sacred that you want to have with you. So I have a favorite crystal that I have with me, and I've got lots of my moon jewelry on. So anything at all that you just want to grab close by, any cups of tea and whatnot. To begin with, we're going to start in a kind of like meditation, hypnosis style thing, or make sense as we go along. But you're welcome to do this seated. You're also welcome to do this lying down. So it's going to be completely dependent on what you feel most comfortable, because ideally we really want the whole body to be able to completely relax. So up to you. We'll do more of the sort of journaling stuff later on. So it's just going to be lying down or getting yourself seated to begin with. And just allow yourself to settle in a comfortable space here. So whether you are lying down, whether you're seated, just really feeling as if the sitting bones sink to the earth. Each point of contact that your body is making with the earth just starts to drop deeper and deeper down. If you're lying down, you could even have support underneath the back of the knees with a bolster or a cushion. And you could even have an eye pillow or a blanket over you. Just allowing yourself to get really nice and comfortable. Letting the body weight just drop heavy into the earth. And when you're ready, start to just connect to your breath here. So just take some steady inhales, steady exhales. And you're just allowing the body with every out breath to drop heavier and heavier into the earth. So I always find the first new moon of the year is the most potent, because the new moon acts as a new beginning. So every single month we have the full moon where energies are really heightened, where it is a time to really like feel into what we've done throughout the month. And then slowly that kind of falls away. And as the new moon comes along, it really represents this whole new beginning, this new start, this time to assess the last month, or in this case, maybe even the last year. And it is the perfect time to manifest. And I think especially this year, so I don't know about you, but for me, the full moon at the beginning of the year, those first sort of couple of weeks were really intense. There was this really intense energy, and it was almost sort of like, have to get things done, have to get moving. But it was this really anxious energy. And I think it's more of a collective rather than just individual. I think at the beginning of each year, there is this sense of, right, Christmas, New Year, we've done. Now we've got to get on. But really, when it comes to this time of the year, winter is telling us to slow down. It is inviting us to hibernate. The energies aren't really there to make these huge leaps. But finally, this new moon has come along and it feels like something's just lifted. Like the energy is just softer. We're actually allowing ourselves maybe a bit more time to rest, a bit more time to be still and enjoy this hibernation mode. So I pulled a couple of tarot cards for this evening, and I pulled an oracle card from my favorite oracle deck. It's called the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And the card that we pulled was actually the Mystical Shaman card. So I'm just going to read you what it means. This is the symbol of the myth maker and the storyteller, who is neither made of nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, perceives all aspects of it. In doing so, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, and sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not to be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. This is the symbol of true alchemy, for all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When we remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. Be careful what you pray for. The mystical shaman cautions you against relentless attachment to a certain form that you think will make you happy, prosperous, famous, loved, etc. However, in seeing your dream come into being, had you considered what you were willing to sacrifice for it? Perhaps you've been telling yourself a certain story for so long. The story that only when you reach this particular goal will you be happy that you will arrive. You didn't even notice you're no longer the person who wanted those outcomes. You may have moved beyond those stories. Perhaps it's time to admit to yourself that you need to imagine a new story that is in more alignment with who you've become. This is just one moment in millions of moments in the continuum of a life. Let it go. Let it be just a story and move on. Better tales are waiting to be told. Essentially, what that really means is that sometimes we have these goals and we work towards them. But while we're working towards them, we might lose sight of why we're doing so. And we are beings who evolve. We are constantly evolving and shifting and changing. And so that's why it's really important to keep checking in with what we want our future to look like, what our goals and our aspirations are. Because no doubt they will start to change as we change. And the second card that I pulled, which is from the original tarot deck, the Rider-Waite, was the Strength card. And I absolutely love this card. I think it's one of the most beautiful ones in the pack. It doesn't mean strength as in physical strength. It means inner strength. There's a picture of this woman, this really beautiful woman in white. She's got sort of flowers adorning her, and she is stroking this lion. And it basically means that there's so much strength in softness. There is so much strength in relaxing. There's so much strength and power in tapping into your feminine essence, which everyone has, male and female. Instead of being in that masculine essence, which is constantly powering on, forcing through, slow down, soften, relax. That is when your intuition gets to shine. That is when you really truly get to enjoy the world's pleasures. Our feminine aspect is sensual. When did you last stop and just smell the fresh air? When did you stop and look at the scenery? When did you allow yourself a long, lovely bath? That builds up so much strength within us. So that's just the energy that I got from the tarot deck. So we're going to go into a little meditation hypnosis, and that's really just in order for you to connect to your higher self. Whether you are spiritual or not, even when we're in our brains and we're thinking, and sometimes we observe that we are thinking, like, what's that? There's something else there. There is another power, another part of us, our soul, our essence. A lot of the time, our head gets in the way. And that's when, if we slow down, we actually get to tap into what might be best for us, what our inner self is trying to tell us. So get yourself really comfortable if you haven't already. Let's start to, once again, just tap into the breath. Breathe into the belly. Breathe out of the belly. Few deep breaths, just connecting you in. And start to feel with every breath that your body is relaxing deeper and deeper. With every breath, like a wave of relaxation, travels down the whole length of the body. I want you to imagine that there is an orb of light just above your head. Notice the color of it. Notice how it shines. I want you to start to feel this orb of light casting its rays upon the crown of the head. This is a relaxing, healing, and extremely safe light and energy. And so this lovely orb starts to travel down, descends over the crown of the head, traveling past the forehead, pausing in that space between the eyebrows. And it travels past the eyes, the eyelids, down the length of the nose, the nostrils, past the cheeks, the lips, over the jaw. It travels down the neck. It pauses at your throat center. And it continues down over the shoulders, down the length of the arms, past the elbows, through to the forearms, past the wrists, through the hands, all the way to the tips of the fingers. And it travels through the chest, down the shoulder blades, and it pauses in your heart center. And it continues down through the rib cage, pausing your navel center. And down it goes through the belly, the lower back. And it pauses in your lower belly. Continuing down through the hips to the pelvis. And it pauses at your root. And this light continues to shine, traveling down the legs, over the knees, past the shins and the ankles, through the feet, all the way to the tips of the toes. Your body is held. It is safe. You are completely grounded for the work we are about to do. I am going to count from 1 to 10. And when I reach 10, you are going to be in the deepest state of relaxation. As I count from 1 to 10, you will become more and more relaxed. Your unconscious mind, your higher self, will be open, receptive. It will be completely alert, but physically, you will be so deeply relaxed. 1, dropping deeper. 2, deeper still. 3, 4, 5, 6, very deep now. 7, more and more relaxed. 8, 9, 10. You are deeply relaxed. You are in the deepest state of relaxation. knowing that your physical body is being held and protective. Start to imagine your energy, your soul start to travel up out of the crown of the head. You might even be able to associate it with an orb of light. Notice it, observe it, sense it. And this orb is going to start to travel up. Goes through the ceiling, out into the sky, and goes past the clouds, out into the universe. And it travels through layers of darkness, of light, of darkness, of light, until you arrive in a place that is so lush and abundant. There's green forests all around you. The sun is shining warm rays against your skin. Have a look around. Notice what's there. Are there trees? Are there flowers? Is there a body of water? Notice what you are wearing. And suddenly you notice that there is a path. And you start to walk down this path. Noticing the scenery as you walk. And you just have this sense that this is a healing place. That this is a safe place. And you continue to walk until you see a clearing. Notice in this clearing that there are other beings there. Walk towards them. These are your guides. These are your ancestors. These are spirits sent just to help you on this journey. As you walk towards them, take a look. Notice who is there. Notice who has come to meet you. Spend some time with them. Ask them any questions. Whether they have any messages for you. Ask anything that you may need to know right now. Notice if they have any last messages for you. Thank them for their time. And slowly, slowly head back to the path. Walk back the way you came. And come back to the edge of this world, the edge of this land. And I want you to continue to travel up, past maybe more layers of darkness, of light, darkness and light, until you reach the very edges. You can't go any further. And so you start to burst through. You come into this place of brilliant white light. Allow yourself to bask in this extremely healing, extremely powerful energy. Letting anything that you no longer need in your body, in your mind, in your energy field to melt away into this space. The healing white energy transforms it. So let anything go. Let it drop away. Feel layers shedding, releasing, cleansing. And start to feel as if you are becoming whole again. As the burdens that may have weighed heavy lift, you feel light and bright. So you come back into your true essence of who you are and who you're meant to be. This is your higher self. Allow yourself to bask here. Notice if any messages from your higher self arrive for you. Let all of that integrate. So you just bask in this healing energy. When you feel fully whole again, shining bright light, start to descend from this white space as you travel back down through layers of dark, of light, of dark, of light. And you continue on until you get to the earth's edge. And you carry on through the sky, past the clouds, come back through the roof, back to the crown of the head. You slowly drop back into your body. So you become aware of your breath. You become aware of the earth beneath you. So you feel all of that integrate into your physical. Knowing that deep healing has taken place. You have connected to yourself so deeply that you are so supported. I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And on 5, you will be awake, alert, feeling peaceful, content, and fully back in the physical body. 1, 2, coming back. 3, 4, 5, awake in the room. You might like to maybe blink the eyes open, maybe wiggle fingers and toes. Just allow yourself to maybe really sink the points of contact into the earth. So you just ground yourself back into life. When you're ready, there's no rush to do this. If you're lying down, you might like to hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug and a squeeze. Maybe take some deeper breaths. If you're lying down, you can roll gently off to the side of the body. And then press your way into a comfortable seat. And there's no rush to do this in your own time. So you might want to grab pen and paper and just jot down anything that came up there. Just maybe writing down any messages or anything that came up for you. And then after that, we're going to move more into the intention setting side of things. So I'm going to give you just a few minutes to write everything down. I'm going to do the same. So when you've written down any notes, any messages, now is the time to write down 5 wishes. So what do you want coming up? What do you want from this moon, from this year? Might even take into account anything that came up during that meditation. And really just write it down as in I wish. So you're making it really clear that this is what I want. I wish for this. And we're going to do 5 of those. Be quite specific with this as well. So you can't be specific enough in this scenario. The universe likes to have lots and lots of information so they can really start to take all of that. Whenever you've done that, and there's no rush, you're then going to write those in affirmation form. So, say, for example, you wish for abundance. You would then say, I am abundant in every way. So, you're not wishing for it because it's already come true. And that's what you're going to write. So, it's, I have this already. This is already in my life. And if you can't think of all 5 wishes, don't worry. You can always leave one blank and then come back to it, maybe even tomorrow or the next day. So the moon's energies are pretty potent for the next few days, really. And then when you've done that, and there's no rush to do it at all, you are going to write 5 things that you are grateful for from the last year. So 5 things in 2022 that you are grateful for. And when you've done, up to you what you want to do with your lists. So I quite like to keep mine, especially when they're from the beginning of the year, and reflect back on them maybe at the end of the year and see what has happened, what has come true, what has manifested, whether actually your intentions may have changed as the year has gone on. You might even like to pause and reflect on them at certain aspects, certain points this year. Really, it's just a time to tap into what feels good now, what you want now. And you can then pause and reflect on that and see if it shifts. See if as you evolve along this journey that we call life, whether your desires change too. Probably will. It's okay if you need any more time to finish this up. You are welcome to. But whenever you have done, so take your candle and you're going to light it. But as you light it, just say that this is for your guides, this is for your ancestors, this is an honoring, a gift of energy to those out there, those spiritual beings, just to thank them, even if it's just for your highest self, just to honor all of those parts. And you can just let this candle burn. So you can either let it burn all through the night, or if that's a safety hazard for you. We don't ever want to blow out candles that are sort of for a spiritual purpose. So you could even sort of wet your fingers and sort of dab it out, or get a tiny bit of tissue, wet tissue, and sort of snub it out. But yeah, we don't want to blow. We want to either let it go out naturally, or if that's not possible, then we just snub it out. But just allowing yourself to take some time just to honor all of that. Give you a few more minutes, and then we're going to move into the last sort of half an hour, which is really just going to be relaxing. So we're going to move into our restorative yoga. And what that's going to do is allow us to physically release our bodies, physically let go of tension that we store there. Physically open ourselves up to the possibilities that this year, this moon can bring in. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to come into our first restorative space. So no rush to do this. But what you're going to do is grab a cushion or a bolster. You are going to lie down. You're going to place the soles of the feet and your ankles on top of your cushion, your support, so your knees can fan out wide. And you're just going to lie down. And you're just going to allow your body just to soften here. So if this feels not so good on your hips here, you could pile the cushions up a little bit higher and just rest your calves on top. So that's going to just allow instead that little bit of a raised leg. So we're still getting the blood flow kind of shifting. But if it doesn't feel good for the hips, to have the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. And you're just going to lie on your back. You can either have your arms out to the side, palms up, open and receptive. You might prefer to bring your hands maybe on your belly, or one hand to belly and one hand to heart space. You have maybe any eye pillows or blankets, you can get yourself really cozy. Allow your body to drop down, to sink into the earth. Take some lovely deep breaths. And with every breath, that lovely, healing, safe light that was surrounding you earlier starts to come back. You start to feel yourself drop heavier into the earth as you are once again cocooned by this energy. But this time you feel yourself drop even deeper into the earth. You could start to imagine roots from every single point of contact that your body is making with the earth. Start to grow, start to wiggle and wind their way down into the earth's center. So as these roots grow, they wiggle and wind their way through layers of mud, of soil, layers of sediment and clay, wiggling and winding their way all the way down to the earth center. Feeling with every breath that you are grounding, that you are being fully held and supported by the earth. So when I was preparing for this earlier, when I do meditations, I get quite a few channeled messages, and I asked for new moon messages. So I'm just going to read them to you as you drop into this space. Trust. Try not to just take the easy option. Abundance lies ahead if you push your boundaries. Healing takes place within. Change really happens when we look inside. You are enough. No need to push to gain respect and love. You are deserving of it as you are. Let them be. The people and the things that aren't meant for you. Let them be. Let them go. You'll find the answers within. Spend more time in stillness, turning inwards. That is where the answers lie. I'm going to leave you here for a few more minutes just to really let that integrate. Allow your body to rest in stillness. Allow your mind to be open and receptive. Start to just take a deep, deep breath in. And a deep, deep breath out. Start to allow a few deeper breaths just to move back through the body. Start to wriggle fingers, wriggle toes. When you're ready, you might like to just draw your knees in, give yourself a lovely big hug. You can start to roll gently off to the side of the body. Take some time until you feel ready to press your way into a seat. And we're going to move into a heart opener. So we're going to bring a cushion, whatever height you want it, across our mat. Mine's pretty high, so I would use then a cushion for my head. So what we're going to do is we're going to lie with our cushion underneath the back of the rib cage. Any cushion will do. And then you just allow the head to rest up and over. So If your cushion's a bit lower than mine, you're welcome to just drop your head onto the floor. But you're just going to allow your chest to open. So bring your arms really out to the sides here, palms up. Your legs can be long, or you could have the knees bent, feet to the floor. But just really allow your body to be open and receptive. Allow yourself to drop down into this space. Because ultimately, we have to be open energetically as well as mentally to receive what we desire. And sometimes we might so desperately want something, but our energy is blocking it. And so really allow yourself to open here. Allow yourself to free your heart space. So heart, this energy center in Sanskrit, is called your Anahata. And Anahata directly translates to unhurt, unstruck, unbroken. All the time when we think of our heart, we think of fluffy things and love and softness. But heartbreak can be grueling, can be the hardest thing that we go through. Unhurt, unstruck, unbroken. I think all of our power resides in our heart space. All of our strength, all of our resilience lies here. Allow yourself to deep dive into this softness. Deep dive into this center. Might be uncomfortable. There might be hurt lingering. There's also so much strength. Going to leave you here to really drop into this space. If your mind starts to wander, really come back to your breath. And you might even like to repeat an affirmation inside with your breath as you rest here. And the affirmation that's coming to mind is, it is safe to open. It is safe to let go. So allow yourself to drop down. I will let you know when it's time to move. Take a long breath in and a long breath out. Start to allow deeper breaths once again to flow through the body. Start to bring gentle movement to the fingers and the toes. When you're ready, maybe bend the knees, place the feet to the earth. Roll gently off to the side of the body. And you're going to gently lift yourself away from your cushions. And we're just going to lie down in Shavasana. So you're going to lie in full relaxation here. So sometimes it's nice to have a support underneath the knees as you lie down, or you can just be fully flat on the back. If you feel like you're still kind of up in the air slightly and you want some more grounding, having quite a heavy cushion and placing it on the pelvis, that sort of lower belly hip area, can just really help to sink you down. You can either have the arms rest to the side, or you can have them rest on your body if you feel like you need that extra grounding today. But as we melt into Shavasana, so Shavasana is corpse pose. We are spending some time here to shed, to let go, to energetically release all that no longer serves us. We don't need to think about it. We don't need to go over it in our head. This will, at an energetic level, just be happening. Your job here is to just allow it, let go. Let go of thoughts, words, phrases, memories. Let go of tension in the physical body. Let go of movement. Just letting go so that you can drop down, so that you can integrate. So when you're ready, take a long inhale. As you exhale, release. Feel your body sink heavy into the earth. I'm going to leave you here in the stillness to integrate, to process, to let go. Take a long, lovely breath in. Long, releasing breath out. Start to come back to your breath. Breathe life, prana, energy back into the body. You fill it up with this fresh, new energy, these fresh, new opportunities. You might start to feel a hum in the body, maybe a tingling in the fingers and the toes. And when you're ready, let's bring movement back in, reawaking from our corpse pose, starting afresh, coming back to life. Maybe swaying the head, you could take a full body stretch. If you're lying down, you could hug your knees in, give yourself a big old squeeze. Rocking gently until you feel ready to roll to the side of the body. You can take your time, keeping the eyes soft or closed. Press into a comfortable seat on your mat. Bring your hands together into prayer at the heart center. Let your thumb knuckles rest against your heart space, against your sternum. Take a moment just to thank yourself. Taking this time to connect to yourself on the deepest level possible. Start to lift your gaze up towards the sky and just thank whatever's out there, whatever spirits, whatever the universe, whatever you believe in. Just send some thanks out into the world. And start to bow down towards the floor. Thank the earth for supporting you, for holding you, for grounding you when you need that extra stability. Coming back into center. Just take a long inhale. And exhale, release. And allow the eyes to softly open. And you can release your hands back down. All right, my lovely ones. Thank you very much for joining in. I will send over in an email the messages that I got through and the tarot cards and the meanings so that you can, in your own time, look through them. Probably won't do it maybe until Monday, but you will get them. And if you do have any questions or anything, you're welcome to, say them now, or you're welcome to email me, come back to me at any point. I hope you sleep really well, and you may well have some really weird dreams. So that's quite normal as well after lots of like hypnosis and weird channel things. Sometimes it's really nice to have a notebook by the side of your bed if that does happen, and just to jot them down. But, oh, you can see little Lola in the background asleep. If anyone does have any questions, you're welcome to stay or have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I hope you do sleep very, very well.